These decks are so hard to build perfectly. It's crazy how difficult they are. Temple Garden paying off. Keeping this, I think we're going to put back the second Lumimancer here. Like his hand might just be a mulligan. If I guess we don't necessarily need the green that early here. We don't need sideboard cards for Chalice of the Void, chat. What are you talking about? I still don't think we need to. It's like Chalice is like. It just kind of feels like they have to have Chalice of the Void on turn 2 on the play for it to do anything. Whatever. They have to have it in their hand, you know. Ballista. That's fine. Yeah, it's a portal mounted. I thought this was good because it's got the green and the white in the frame in our Naya deck. I thought that was pretty nice. I'm probably not supposed to be fetching now, actually. So if I draw another green card, I'm going to want another green source here. I think I wanted to thin a bit. Map, probably for Blast Zone. Could be for like Temple. Yeah, they do get Temple, so this might mean that they have Allah's Dust. They also might just be dead. Do I feel like they have... Do I feel like my opponent has... Dismember? I think I'm just bolting them no matter what, honestly, this turn. If they had Dismember, they would have fired it off already. So that 14, and then this is going to be plus 4, 10, 11, plus 3, exactly 14, sick. Yeah, Snakeskin Veil also helps you Arcanist Manamorphose a couple turns in a row. Not sure how often that'll come up. Cool. Is there anything for healer on the sideboard? We have 2 Erase and Kozilek's Return as well. Gonna bring the Rip Apart, the Assault Strobes, and I think I'm just cutting Lightning Bolt in this matchup. Yeah, we dumped them 20. Usually happens when you untap with Arcanist in a 1-drop. Why not Growth and then Manamorphose with Arcanist and then still have Scale Up? I mean, after we flashback the Lightning Bolt with Arcanist, my opponent doesn't have anything, so it just doesn't matter, right? Why not Growth then Manamorphose with Arcanist and still have Snakeskin up? Well, if we Manamorphose off of Arcanist, we're not definitely dealing 14. We could just draw a blank card and not deal with 3 damage with the bolt we need. I like that we tried a couple matches without the bolts, but I think we need that Lightning Bolts card, huh? So we're on the draw. This hand is pretty good if we draw a land. I think I'm gonna mulligan. 5. Alright, we have Assault Strobe Lumimancer. Hopefully they don't have Dismember. That would be so much better on 7. Should have kept 7? I don't think so. I mean, you are definitely not supposed to see a 7-card hand that's a mulligan, and then keep it on see a non-functional 6-card hand and say, "Oh, I should have kept 7." That is confirmation bias, right? Or is it gambler's fallacy? No, it's confirmation bias, I think. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Guess I wasn't. His brain broke a bit. Relatively new to this whole streaming thing still. Might not matter at all. My end of combat stop wasn't on and I almost clicked through my turn again. That would have been so embarrassing. I just ended the stream. Despite what we've seen from these 2 hands, I think I would have kept the 7. I think the 7 was a mulligan. It was close though, I could be wrong. Mazemind Tome. Maze Window. Cac W, dude. Draw a card. I mean, they also have Dismember. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Probably supposed to play Lumimancer. Just attack here. I don't think we're supposed to rip apart the tome. Not after we've drawn the Lumimancer. I might have done it if I hadn't. Would they be dead without Dismember? Maybe. I think you should play Heaths over Mesas if you don't have or Heaths over Mesas and Tarns. The white fetch land's more important, I think. Yeah, if I drew like a land, I probably would rip apart a tome. Yeah, and I'm not sure which tome you're supposed to rip apart. Maybe the one that has the counter on it. Oh, gross, Blast Zone. All right, I'm done. Let's go to game 3. Get you in the play. Maybe we'll keep a 7-card hand. I apologize for the misclick though, or misplay, whatever. I'm gonna get a protein shake and maybe focus up a bit. Be back for game 3. And thank you for everybody's patience. This is a sick hand. It's a really nice hand. It's almost a turn 2 kill. I think it can be a turn 2 kill if we draw one of our 3 assault strobes. We can even protect from a Dismember with double growth. I paid from the offshore account to pet Athena. So we're gonna make red, green. Salt Strobe is lethal here, but just doing well otherwise. If they do have Dismember, and we go for mutagenic growth, no, I guess we could just growth again, and it survives. I think I'm supposed. I think I'm supposed to go for just double mutagenic growth this turn to play around Chalice, and then we can become a next turn and get an extra prowess trigger. 10, so we hit them down to 2 next turn. So next turn we can become a Mince Dreadhorde Arcanist and flashback become a Mince on itself. They did play a Reshaper on turn 2, which is usually unbeatable. I guess Thought-Knot Seer would be really bad. Dude, Radiant Fountain in the Seer would be so bad. Yeah, Relic does get us here, I guess. But maybe they will... misplay? They didn't. Man. Be a tough one to lose. Them down to 5. That Radiant Fountain was so sick. They reveal all his dust. Well, they can't play it next turn. They can play it in 2 turns if they have a temple. Or Tron, I guess. Second Reshaper, can't ever win. Alright, any spell to trigger Arcanist is going to be a win. Or to flashback with Arcanist. Anything else is maybe just not going to be good enough. We can put Luris in our hand, worst case scenario. They have to have Power Plant or Temple. Oh, crash through. That should be game. Sick. Should be game. So they decided to scry 1. No, Esther, I didn't 3-2. Sorry that you believed. It was very close. It came down to the very last game. One day I'll 3-2. Yeah, I think Crash Through was a great addition to the deck. Well, my opponent didn't concede. Instead of actually recounting, I'll just Snakeskin. I can't trust Esther with mod powers. Maybe I can. Alright, Esther, do you want to be a mod or no? Can Defiant Strike over Crash Through? I mean, you can Dreadhorde Arcanist but Manamorphose through other means. I don't think that you want to play Defiant Strike over Crash Through. Crash Through gives trample to all your creatures, which is a big deal. Makes you a little bit better against spot removal spells. I think I'm going to fetch on turn 1. We might be able to scale up plus become immense on turn 2 if we draw Manamorphose into... I guess the fetch line doesn't matter for that. We have to draw like Manamorphose into Manamorphose or Growth. But it'd be pretty cool. I hope you don't change the list too often. I already got 2 times to search through my collection. Elementals, wow. Might be best to wait until things get a little bit more solidified, maybe. I think we're going to go Crash Through, scale up this turn. And next turn we can maybe just clear the blocker with bolts if they have one. Scale up just so gnarly with prowess. It's awesome. Attack for 8. You could have Voice of Resurgence, I guess. That'd be pretty bad. Blue whites. Huh. Weird. I think I'm just gonna make them chump block. Kind of feels like infect water down. I don't know. Your threats are way better in this deck. You're not like super cold to 1 toughness removal. You're not immune to it. This is +4. Yeah, if Mutagenic Growth made Bolt lethal, I'd do it, but I think it's better to wait. Yeah, we get to play more threats. We get to play better threats. We get to have Luris. Attack with both spears and bolt face that turn. Well, if you bolt face, it gets countered by the Mariner. You get to play bolt. No. I think this deck's maybe better. Maybe not, but just worth testing and also worth getting some feedback. Like, maybe this deck is worse than in fact. Skelly? Well, they're dead to the become immense if they Skelly. Oh, they're playing Kihira. Cool. Kihira, very good companion for elementals. We're also a better become immense deck, maybe not. You get to play Manamorphose, which is just a broken card. Bring in the returns. Cut these Snakeskin Veils. And you can play like 1 Assault Strobe, maybe. I'm kind of in for an Assault Strobe. How's Lumimancer showing? A strong upgrade or just okay? So in a deck like this, Lumimancer is maybe the best threat in a deck that's like completely built around it with a ton of instants, like into scale up and Crash Through. In a deck like Burn or like a deck like red white Prowess that's playing Boros Charm and not committing to building around Lumimancer as much, it's not as good. But I think Lumimancer is nuts in a deck like this, but the rest of your deck is not as consistent or powerful as a more standard build, and that's kind of the payoff you get for building around the card more. But I don't think Lumimancer is too good for Modern. Honestly, like the best thing Lumimancer is it's just another good threat where you have Swift Spear, you have Soulscare Mage, But then, like, when you have you want another 1-mana prowess threat, you're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, playing a card like Wild Nacatl in a deck like this, or your, Blister Coil Weird, or you have to play the 2-mana prowess guys, which all kind of suck. How is Rip Apart? I think it's fine. I mean, the card is just like a fine interactive card. It never really, I think, was ever going to pretend to be anything besides that. But a good interactive card, a very versatile card. Where any mode you choose is not going to be a super effective mode, but the fact that it can hit 4 different things is really nice. Yeah, I see a lot of people. Comparing Lumimancer to Kiln Fiend, but I just don't think you can compare 1 and 2 mana threats very well. Being a 1-mana threat it's so much less than 2 mana. It's crazy. Dude, Arcanist having... I wonder if Arcanist at one point had Prowess instead of Trample, and then it was just way too good with Prowess. Maybe this card costs 3 mana, it could have Prowess, and it'd be interesting. But small to 6 on the play. Yeah. 1 versus 2. It is 1 less, but you shouldn't think of it as 1 less. It costs half as much. That's how I think you should think about it. It costs half as much as a 2-drop. 1-mana spells just awesome. And as awesome as 1-mana spell, as good as 1-mana spells are, 0-mana spells, they don't cost 1 mana less than 1-mana spells. Well, they do. But really, they cost infinity times less than 1 mana. I should probably unban the word banned, but it's mostly a joke. But we just had like non-stop ban list conversations for Healer of the Glade. Just non-stop. Hey, Spike, what do you think about the ban list? Ban list. Non-stop for months, and we're just on a hiatus from ban list questions. But yeah, if you want to, you can unban the word ban. It's fine. Keep Counterspell on there though. Keep Counterspell on there. Dude, Rograk. I actually have a foil. Hold on. I etched foil one of those. That was a gift. I probably should build an EDH deck around it. I don't really know how, though. I wouldn't partner, I think. I think I would just have it by itself. Ooh, Mariner's pretty good, huh? Well, I guess we can go maybe doing a Manamorphose Arcanist this turn. I think so. I think just attacking for 4 is kind of nice. Make blue-red just to throw him off. Ooh, wow. Oh, I should have held the Manamorphose. After I drew the Kozilek's Return, I was supposed to hold the Manamorphose to have Lumimancer survive Kozilek's Return next turn. Oh wait, no, it survives anyway. Never mind. You don't love a dart list like this? It sounds nuts to me. Maybe. It doesn't work very well with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Please tell me what you want to cut, though, because the list is, like, super tight. Like, there's a lot of reasonable cards to play, but... I don't think that... I don't think you want to play Dart. But obviously Dart's a very good card. Maybe you could play Dart over Bolts. It looks so cool. One day I'll build an EDH deck around the guy. Ooh, Spite Bellows? Is Mana Force as good in this without Stormwing? Yeah. I think so. I think we're just supposed to play our 1-drops. Pass. It does stink that the healer blocks so well. Good sideboard cards. Is Manamorphose a 2-mana spell or a 0-mana spell? Sometimes it's one and sometimes it's the other. But honestly, instead of Stormwing is not good without Manamorphose, not the other way around. Like Manamorphose is one of the best cards in Modern, but Stormwing is just not that good in decks without Manamorphose. But Manamorphose is good in other decks without Stormwing. White Elemental. Is Voice of Resurgence? It is. Kozilek's Return looking okay. A little bit better now. I'm probably supposed to get them to block with the healer, right? The healer has been a thorn in my side for far too long. Oh, they got Thunderkin Awakener, though, so maybe we need to try to wait on the return until their turn. That does give them a Voice of Resurgence token. We could just draw a land for bolts. Oh, wait, the voice token dies. Okay, yeah. Easy then. How was this not in the deck before? This card's so sick. How did I forget about Kozilek's Return? Well, the token is a power equal to the number of creatures you control, but they'll have the healer and then the token itself, and then there'll be a 2/2 and die. No, both. Oh yeah, so yeah, they'll keep their voice token. That's true. They'll have one token from the voice dying, because that won't have been damaged. Wait, they're not playing their guy? They're playing their other guy. Why is healer surviving? Wait, oh, healer has. Sorry, I thought healer was a 1/3. This card is terrible. I looked at it and I guess I saw this 3 here. Okay, healer is unplayable. Maybe not. Define GG's, thank you for your subscription, buddy. Appreciate ya. This doesn't put -1 counters on our guys, right? Just theirs. Yeah, just counters on our opponent's creatures. So I'm pretty sure they're dead. Alright, you have a good elementals matchup. I mean, this is an elemental. I mean, it's not... They're probably limited on options as far as, like, elementals that are good against red decks, right? Yeah, yeah. Maybe we should test the elementals matchup some more to see if we have a good matchup. I like elementals. I have a soft spot for Kihira. I won some tournaments with Kihira as my companion. Why do you still play Luris in this? I think that it can still be. I mean, I don't want to argue this endlessly because this has been a point of contention for a little bit. I guess I actually want the fetch land more than the Vantage because Become Immense. Luris is going to matter a lot in the red matchups and against control decks, where you just want another threat. If Luris comes down, recurs a threat that died earlier, it's going to be really good when that happens. It's going to be really good when that happens. It's not going to happen every single game, but it's not like you can ever compare Luris to any other card. The companion mechanic is so unique that I think it's wrong to compare it to any other card. I think that absolutely Luris is better than any other sideboard card, even with no baubles. It's not going to matter every single game, but when it does matter, it's going to matter a lot, I think. If we draw another 0-mana spell, actually, I think they're just dead, right? Do you remember when people tested on MTGO for actual PTs and Scoop 4.0 to... I did that. I did that, actually. When I was testing for PTs on MTGO, I scooped to prevent the 5.0. I only did it like once or twice, but I have done that. Alright, one short. Oh, or they actually might not have been dead. It would have been close. So this is Heliod. I have a Skyclave. Bummer. Dreadhorde Arcanist is maybe the best draw here. Right on time, Snakeskin. How many games leagues have I played with this deck? This is my third. I went lost playing for 5-0 yesterday. Made a lot of changes that I think were kind of bad. We went 0-2 and now we're 2-0 with better changes, I think. How's the team returns deck? Bad but fun. Kazuma, whatever. The green Planeswalker wasn't that good, but the red one actually was pretty good, I think. So I think I'm playing Luris with Snakeskin up here. If we can draw Crash through, we're in good shape, maybe. Was Team Returns running the flip coin turn card? No, not that fun. The idea was that the new red and blue Planeswalker was kind of good in the Taking's turn shell. They have Ballista. I guess I'm supposed to maybe let them ping again. So if they decide they don't want to trade Ballista for Luris here, yeah, I was supposed to have them ping again. Could Luminarch Aspirant replace Conclave Mentor in these decks? Maybe. I think it's actually a really good idea. I've always felt like Conclave Mentor is the worst card in Heliod, but one thing is Conclave Mentor does play well with Luminarch Aspirant, so if you're cutting, that's kind of a funny thing to cut one for the other. Opponent might just be dead here. I need to draw something, which I haven't drawn. So if I draw Scale Up, I win, I think. Good attack, opponent. Good attack. That might have been a fine attack against blue-red prowess, but not against Naya prowess. This is a 1 over lethal? Yeah. Just casual tacky for 14 after starting the turn with no creatures in play. Pretty sick. Winning game 1 against Heliod is also very nice. They don't have very much removal. I think on maybe I'll play 1 Snakeskin, but probably not more than that. I'm going to trim on growths as well. Yeah, Scale Up lets you ignore Pro Red, which is pretty cool. I don't think I play Rip Apart. Yeah, Swift Spear is still the best one drop in these decks. Just the haste is such a big deal. He wants to, or she wants to, whatever. Erase me. I have to draw a race, I guess, before I can sing that song. A couple weeks, no talking. I see my baby. I missed you so damn much. Hey, I wish we could start over. I told my baby. This is what she tells me. She said, I keep on running, and nothing works. I guess I'm going to bolt turn 1, turn 2, play 2 Lumimancers. Yeah, I think Snakeskin is better than Blossoming Defense. My mindset was the opposite this morning, but I was convinced by chat that Snakeskin is better because these decks or your opponents are going to be sorcery speed using removal really often against you. I think that if you see a prowess creature, you're going to want to be playing a lot of your removal at sorcery speed. And so I think Snakeskin is better because of that. Man, not playing the 2 Luminancers here feels tough, but I think we just have to play the Arcanist with the Bolt in the Yard here. Just too important. I keep on running, and nothing works. I can't get away from you. Also, Gloomshot being a white card is actually really relevant in these matchups too. Alright, just gonna... I think I'm just playing... One drop, Swift Spirit. I think I will flashback the Bolt, just bolt them here. Really good chance of killing them next turn. You can flashback the Crash Through with the Arcanist next turn. Or Mutagenic Growth, maybe. So we hit them for 4, effectively, down to 18. Guess I should have played the Luminancers late after for whatever, less F6 or more F6 value. Yeah, these being white and not having Auriok Champion protect from them is such a big deal. It seemed like they were low on gas. They sacked their Canopy last turn instead of casting Coco. In Magic the Gathering, however, you do get to draw a card every single turn, which can be a problem. Interesting. Draw. Do they have a Forge Tinder to get? Ballista is the choice, which I guess makes sense against the Lumimancers. Yeah, if they sack in our upkeep here, it's not good for us. And then they can Ballista kill both Lumimancers. Even if we Mutagenic Growth, they'll just like... I guess we get Growth in response. They didn't sack Ranger Captain. They didn't sack Ranger Captain. I can't believe it. Bad timing, opponent. 1, 2, 3. If we draw, I guess we can't Mutagenic Growth or become immense no matter what. Actually, I think I'm still Mutagenic Growthing. I'll just let them Ballista my Lumimancers. Maybe this is bad, but I guess I shouldn't have 6. I can draw a red 1-drop. We have Lurrus to get Lumimancer back. So we can become immense our Dreadhorde Arcanist next turn, which should be lethal if they just Ballista my Lumimancers. No, I don't think we're supposed to cast Mutagenic Growth, because if their turn is just Ballista kill both my Lumimancers, I win. If that's their play, so I don't think we need to play around it. They're just dead if that's their only line. They need to have that plus land plus path as exactly their 3 cards. Because you can become immense your Arcanist and then flashback to become immense on whatever, I guess. I just can't believe they sacked and they let me cast the Crash Through. Such a punt. And they're not even playing. They're not okay. They're gonna play Heliod in. Oh, this makes more sense. They're still dead, but this is, I think, the better line. They have to take 2 more damage. Yeah, and Arcanist has Trample, so it's just game's over. Or you can flashback the Crash Through. That's true, yeah. It does. We have victory here. It's over. Victory! We have victory! My friend Aragorn said that. Rightful King of Gondor. No big deal. Not to name drop or anything. It might have been Gandalf, actually. I remember me and Esther watched the 2 Towers during the snowstorm on a laptop. It's awesome. Deck is carrying. Do we keep this hand on the draw in the blind? I think no is the answer. It's very close. Yeah, so I was not of the opinion Snakeskin was better than Blossoming Defense going into today. But I do now think that it is. I think that Snakeskin is better than Defense because you're a Prowess deck and your opponents are going to cast a lot of their removal at sorcery speed so you can get value off the Snakeskin. But earlier today I was not of that mindset. All right, I cut the Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. My plan against them is to just kill them. And that might work here. We'll see. I have to draw a little well. Green leader, 5 months. This is your favorite brew of yours. Awesome. I like this deck a lot too. This deck is also really near and dear to my heart because the same shell is the first deck I ever streamed with. Oh, they hit a Narcomoeba and a Conflagrate. I guess we can Mutagenic Growth. It's unlucky though. They might actually go for Cathartic Reunion though. We also, I'm just gonna bring in 3 Assault Strobes too to kill them like on turn 2 sometimes. So they have to put all 5 points on the Lumimancer in order to kill it. Oh yeah, I forgot we had Crash Through was such a big addition to the deck too. How has Rip Apart felt so far? It feels fine. Like Rip Apart I think is never gonna feel crazy good. I think it's always gonna be a card that is just okay because it's a flexible removal spell, but it's a good removal spell, you know, a very flexible sideboard card. Am I worried that my viewers are gonna get bored? Oh man, what a good copy pasta. They do deal all 5 damage to the Lumimancer. Gross. Well, maybe Luris will carry us this game. We're supposed to make red-white here so we can cast any threat, I think. They dealt only 1. Oh no! You're right. How did I miss that? Such a blockhead. Oh, how did I miss that? You're right. I saw X equals 5. Why cast that Manamorph at first? Well, casting Manamorphose, so if we draw a threat, we can cast it, right? Oh, the art first, I see. Wow. Silly question. I think I'm going to block Mutagenic Growth and kill the Amalgam here. That could not be the right play, but... I don't know if that's the part of the learning curve, because I just talked about what I would do versus what I wouldn't do. They get 2 Silver Smoke goals. I don't know. I just talked about what I would versus wouldn't do, and then just, I don't know, brain farted, misread the board, something. So if we block the Amalgam, they just get it back. I guess I'm going to just try to, like, have some crazy Manamorphose chain that kills them. It's going to be really unlikely, but theoretically possible. Would have been, like, actually possible if I had just, like, not punted with the Lumimancer. There's another Lumimancer. Then make green here. Be green-white. Alright, let's go to game 2. Alright, I'm going to bring in the 3 Assault Strobes. I think I'm cutting Bolts. I think Bolt is my worst card in the matchup. I can play 1, maybe. Does Kozilek's return? To clear Narcomoebas make sense? I don't think so. I think Bolt to clear Narcomoebas is better. Just crash through. They're gonna bring in Lightning Axe. I'm gonna keep in the Snakeskin Veil. I think we have Strobe in the main board and move Snakeskin to the board. 1 Strobe in the main over the 3rd Snakeskin. I think you could do that, yeah. Kill Silver Smoke. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it, but yeah. It's worth considering, I think. I think I'd rather just have 1 Bolt. I'm not sure how good or bad this matchup is. I do think that if this matchup ends up being really bad, it's not that difficult to just play a couple Soul Guide Lanterns in your sideboard and make it a lot better. Surgical, potentially. Probably Lantern over Surgical. This hand's pretty medium. I think I'm supposed to mulligan on the play against Dredge. We just have so many hands that just kill them. Like a hand like this. Like a hand like this. My opponent kept 7. Now here's the question. Do I play around Lava Axe? I think on a if this was a 7-card hand I could, but I actually think on 6 I just need to put back the the Snakeskin. How about 3 crash through, 1 probe? I mean, I've been really impressed with crash through. I think Assault Strobe is fine too. There's a million different cards little cards you could play, little tweaks you could do. Boros Charm, Mishra's Bauble, Artarka's Command, Assault Strobe in the main, Reckless Charge, Teemo Battle Rage. These are all options, and like building the perfect version seems really, really difficult. Oh, they have the Lightning Axe? I mean, we did consciously choose not to play around it, you know? And we did draw another threat, so we're still trucking. I think the snake skins are really important, although we haven't really cast them that often. You could just cut snake skins and play assault strobes instead. I feel like that effect is important though. If we draw assault strobe, they could die. Maybe Dredge is a bad matchup. Maybe just like this plan I have is nonsense. Probably wanted a Sacred Foundry there. When we have 2 green cards in our hand, we have Sunbaked Canyon in our hand too. If we draw a white card. We'd have maybe gone Sunbaked Canyon into like Temple Garden next turn or something. Yeah, I think the plan of just like sighting in Assault Strobes, it doesn't look like it's going to be that consistent now that Dredge gets 8 Cathartic Reunions. I think that we probably need to play Lanterns in the sideboard. Mana Symbol 1 year, dude, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Thank you for complimenting this shirt. Hell yeah. Oh no, I mean Surgical Extraction, usually the first Surgical Extraction isn't that good against Dredge. Usually you have to draw like 2. Sometimes 3. So I think I'd rather be playing just more focused Graveyard Hate. They didn't reveal Luris. I think I'm supposed to play Lumimancer on 1. I'm not 100% sure this is correct. These are the kind of decisions that it's a new format. It's difficult to make. This is also certainly not my area of expertise, like making like this decision. But with the second Lumimancer in my hand, I think it makes sense. This is really bad if they have like Light Up the Stage, though. Maybe simple Boros main deck with 4 strobe, 4 reckless charge. Well, I mean, I just don't know. Like, what does that mean? Simple Boros. You know, what does that mean? Yeah, it's burn without Luris. It's kind of funny. It means mana base is more simple. Oh, so you're saying cut the green to play Boros and you get Assault Strobe and Boros Charm. I feel like Scale Up and Become Immense and are nuts, but I see what you're saying. I think it's something to consider for sure. There's a million options with this deck. This is one of the most complicated decks I've worked on in a while, where the start of it is very easy, but figuring out the exact 75 feels maybe impossible to me. Or perhaps impossible to me specifically, someone who just doesn't play these decks all that often. But it's been a fun puzzle so far, and I hope that we figure it out. I also hope my opponent doesn't kill my second Lumimancer. Yeah, Scale Up, I think Scale Up is great. It's kind of a great draw. I think I'm making red-green here. They should be dead. I think they're holding up both. We just have the mutagenic growth. Do I scale up the Swift Spear? It doesn't matter, right? Just doesn't matter. GG. No, bolt doesn't do it. I guess they don't have the bolts. Maybe they're just pausing to pretend like they had it. Scale Up is 1 more damage on the Lumimancer. Oh, it is 1 more damage on the Lumimancer. Okay, good to... Yes, it is 1 more damage on Lumimancer. Forgot about that. Good catch. To bring in 3 Helix. I'll probably play the Rip Apart as well. What do I not want? Scale Up is probably the worst card. So we can probably just go like -4 Scale Up. For +1 Rip Apart. Yeah, Veil of Summer is also a really nice sideboard card to have. The lag has felt not as pronounced, Lockhart. It was really bad for like 2 matches earlier today, but it actually feels relatively normal right now. So it's 1 more damage on Lumimancer because Lumimancer's base power is 0-1. So it gets +6 from scale up, while Swift Spear only gets +5. Kozilek's return for Firewalker? Maybe. Yes. Probably should have cut Crash Throughs actually. Whatever. But I think I agree. I think I agree. Return's good to have. Probably keep this. We're on the draw. Helix. We have Helix. We have a bunch of threats. They suspend a Rift Bolt. I mean, I'll offer a Lumimancer for a Rift Bolt. So I have 3, and I want to use my mana. Notably, Firewalker not as good against Lumimancer compared to other threats, of course. Vantage was just maybe the best draw on the deck there. Second Rift Bolts. So here we could hold up Helix. They've missed a land. I think it's better. We have 4 threats. I think it's just better to play 2. Yeah, I agree that I probably shouldn't have cut the Manamorphoses. I was just trying to quickly add the Kozilek's return without thinking too hard because I had already clicked submit, which is a mistake. But whatever. Lava spikes me. Okay. Probably just want to play. I could put Lurrus in my hand actually. Lurrus in the hand's kind of interesting. But maybe I'll do that next turn after just casting Manamorphose if I flood. We went 4-1. So we went 4-1 yesterday, and then we went 0-2 after making some, experimental, shall we say, changes. And then 4-1 again, just losing to Dredge. I like this deck a lot. I think this deck's sick. We'll keep playing it. We'll keep tuning it. I think that this is a good version going forward. I really like this version. I'm going to keep working on it. I think that we're going to want lanterns in the sideboard, maybe over like the Rip Apart and 3rd Assault Strobe. Maybe we need 3 lanterns. Time will tell. I really like the 3 Helixes in the board.
Bye.